the full plot of Avengers Doomsday has allegedly leaked anonymously. We've already shared a lot of smaller leaks and rumors in bits and pieces, but today, after a long time, we're finally breaking down the entire anonymous plot leak. And guys, this leak is massive. It's reportedly 4 pages long. So here's your spoiler warning. If you've been avoiding all Doomsday-related information until now, major spoilers are ahead. And for those of you who've been following every single detail about Doomsday, let's not waste any time and break it all down. The story begins in a rainy New York City where we see another Earth approaching from the sky. On a bridge, we see Wolverine alongside Deadpool. Wolverine is visibly shaken and is holding a device, an antimatter bomb. Just as he's about to plant it on the ground, he suddenly catches a scent and comes face to face with the protector of this Earth, Spider-Man. But this isn't Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He tries to stop Wolverine from planting the device, but Deadpool interferes, leading to an intense fight. Wolverine doesn't want to hurt Spider-Man, but Peter continues trying to stop them and prevent the bomb from being activated. Eventually, however, Wolverine succeeds. Deadpool then uses a stolen tempad to open a portal and tells Wolverine to leave because the mission is complete. The scene then shifts to Charles Xavier's mansion, where Deadpool arrives. An older Charles Xavier stands near the mansion window, looking outside in guilt as yet another world has been destroyed. He watches the remains of the planet falling from the sky. After that, we move to Steve Rogers' house, where we learn that after traveling back in time during Endgame, Steve has been living a peaceful life with Peggy Carter and their son James. But suddenly, they receive an unexpected visitor, Loki. This version of Loki exists somewhere between the events of Season 1 and Season 2 of the Loki series. Loki explains the TVA concept. Loki also reveals that Steve created a timeline that should never have existed, causing a paradox, and now the TVA plans to prune it. However, seeing Steve finally living happily with his family, Loki decides to help him. Against Mobius's wishes, Loki relocates Steve to another universe and gives him a TVA device so they can stay in contact. Steve is now living in the Fantastic Four universe, Earth 828. Meanwhile, on Earth 88, Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm are attending a baseball game when they receive an alert from the Baxter Building. Upon arriving, they find Sue Storm and Franklin Richards with Dr. Doom. Doom warns them that he has spent years studying the multiverse and says an incursion is coming. He explains that when the fabric between two realities breaks, a magnetic attraction forms between universes, and their Earths become the collision points. According to Doom, their Earth is somehow responsible for the incursions, and only Reed Richards may be intelligent enough to solve the problem. Sue Storm is suspicious of Victor from the very beginning because she knows he's the ruler of Latveria, a nation that doesn't believe in diplomacy. Reed and Victor investigate strange genetic anomalies across the planet and discover 3 unique energy signatures: Steve, Peggy, and James. They track Steve down, who now has long hair and a beard after spending 10 years in this universe. Steve explains how he used the Infinity Stones to travel back in time and accidentally created a timeline that should never have existed. He also reveals that Loki helped relocate him and that Loki works for an organization that controls timelines. After further research, they discover a universe that has been destroying other universes, the X-Men universe, which has been using antimatter bombs to survive incursions. Steve strongly opposes the idea of destroying universes, while Reed believes they must consider every possibility. Doom then warns them that not only will their universe collide with the X-Men universe, but it will also collide with Earth 616. Doom explains that these 3 universes are deeply connected and will all play major roles in Doomsday. He also warns them that traveling between universes will accelerate the incursions even faster, meaning time is running out. Steve, the Fantastic Four, and Dr. Doom travel aboard their ship toward Earth 616. The new Avengers detect the ship entering Earth's orbit and view it as a potential threat. Thor arrives first, but instead of attacking, he recognizes Steve. At first, Thor suspects this might not be the real Steve Rogers, but when Steve lifts Mjolnir, Thor immediately believes him. The reunion between Thor and Steve becomes one of the emotional highlights of the film. Soon after, Sam Wilson and the Avengers arrive, leading to discussions about leadership. Thor then gives a speech that unites all the teams together. The heroes head to Wakanda, where Steve wishes to meet King T'Challa. Instead, he is shocked to find M'Baku ruling alongside Black Panther Shuri. The heroes discover that Wakanda already knows about the incursions and has been working on solutions. At that exact moment, the sky turns red, the first visual sign of an incursion. Namor is later introduced sitting on his throne beneath the ocean, preparing to flood the world if necessary. He reveals that 3 Earths are on the verge of colliding: Earth 616, Earth 828, and the X-Men universe. Steve tells Thor that Loki is still alive and has become a protector of the multiverse. The heroes begin debating solutions. Reed believes the death of the multiverse may simply be a natural process, but says they should still fight until the very end. Sam wants to stop the incursions without bloodshed, while Namor argues that if destroying another universe is necessary to save their own, then they should do it, especially targeting the X-Men universe first, since they are already destroying other realities. things. Meanwhile, Shuri and Sue secretly work together because they aren't fully convinced by the plans being discussed. The heroes decide to build massive cannons using Wakandan technology. These devices would generate enough force to push planets away from each other and stop the incursions. However, they must also travel to other universes and convince those heroes to build similar devices. While one team stays behind to construct the cannons, another travels to the X-Men universe. At the same time, Steve and Thor use Loki's TVA device to travel to the TVA itself. When the heroes arrive in the X-Men universe, they realize how devastated it already is after surviving countless incursions. They head to Charles Xavier's mansion, but the X-Men are far from friendly. A huge battle breaks out, and according to the leak, this becomes one of the best action scenes in the movie. Yelena fights Mystique, Shang-Chi battles Gambit, and Nightcrawler's teleportation abilities are showcased in spectacular fashion, similar to the classic X-Men films. During the battle, Dr. Doom reactivates Sentinels and unleashes them against the X-Men. This immediately raises suspicion among the heroes because Doom somehow knows far too much about this universe. Magneto confronts the Sentinels while Charles speaks privately with Reed. Beast then reveals the horrifying truth. The X-Men have already survived multiple incursions by planting antimatter bombs in other universes and destroying them first. They only spare universes that contain mutant life. According to Beast, they are simply trying to prevent mutant kind from going extinct. He even references the events of Days of Future Past, explaining that they already used time travel once before to save mutants. Meanwhile, Steve and Thor reach the TVA only to discover it completely destroyed. Mobius is no longer working there, but eventually they find him. He reveals that someone wearing a green hood and mask attacked the TVA and destroyed everything. Then the truth comes out. Dr. Doom was behind it. Earlier, Doom had left the heroes claiming he needed to upgrade his suit, but during that time he secretly executed his plan against Loki. When Doom returns, he appears in a fully armored form, far more powerful than before. Back in the X-Men universe, Doom escalates the war between the X-Men and the Sentinels. Thor arrives in fury and attacks Doom after learning the truth. Steve exposes Doom's real intentions in front of everyone, but Doom is overwhelmingly powerful. His green eyes glow, and even Thor becomes frightened by his strength. Doom defeats the heroes and kidnaps Steve, taking him back to his own universe. All the surviving heroes gather on Earth-66 and prepare for the final battle. Thor prays to Odin, and Odin sends an army of fallen heroes from Valhalla to aid him. Everyone says goodbye to their loved ones before heading toward what may become the greatest battle in Marvel history. Dr. Doom returns to Latveria, where he is welcomed like a king. We see Boris, his right-hand man, and a mysterious masked magician with a third eye on his forehead, leading many to believe it might be Doctor Strange. Another shocking reveal shows Peggy Carter working alongside Doom, though it's unclear whether she has been manipulated. Finally, Doom reveals his tragic backstory. He was once a Latverian researcher who used both magic and technology to understand the multiverse. During his research, he fell in love with a woman from another universe. They married and had a child together. However, her very existence triggered incursions. Doom attempted an experiment to stop them, but it ended in a catastrophic explosion that killed his family and horribly scarred him. Since then, he has hidden his body beneath armor and a mask. Doom believes Steve Rogers and Reed Richards got to live the life he deserved. He admits that he intentionally allowed the incursions to continue so he could map the multiverse and eventually gain ultimate power. Then comes the biggest reveal of all. Doom had a plan to steal Loki's powers. In a brutal flashback scene similar to what Doom once did to Thanos in the comics, we see him stealing Loki's powers. By absorbing Loki's abilities, Doom plans to reshape the entire multiverse, revive his family, and merge all realities into one universe under his rule. The final battle begins. Every hero fights Doom, but he is simply too powerful. Using Loki's abilities, he manipulates both magic and reality itself. Around him, his witches and servants perform rituals using a glowing book that may be the Darkhold. The multiverse starts collapsing. Then Sentry finally arrives and physically attempts to hold the incursions back, giving the heroes more time to fight Doom and save reality. But even Sentry fails. The multiverse completely collides, and a massive flash of light fills the screen. As the light slowly fades away, we see God Emperor Doom sitting on his throne. And boom, Doomsday ends right there. Honestly, this leak sounds extremely legitimate because almost every rumor we've heard about Doomsday so far appears somewhere in this plot. Aside from a few questionable points, the story feels surprisingly believable. The only things that personally feel doubtful to me are the X-Men becoming this morally dark and Loki actually dying. Charles Xavier would never willingly sacrifice innocent universes just to save himself. I also think Loki might survive somehow, but Doom could still steal his throne or powers in another way. Other than that, this plot leak genuinely feels convincing. So guys, what do you think about this alleged Avengers Doomsday plot leak? Which moments did you like the most? And which parts feel fake or suspicious to you? Make sure to comment below and let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the to the channel because we bring amazing content like this every single day.